Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend a little time with us. It's gonna be another busy day in the garden and in the kitchen. And right now, we're out here pulling up our October beans in the garden at the house. They're done, they've produced all they're gonna produce, so we're going ahead and we're just pulling them up and picking them at the same time. And I've also already come out here and picked me another 5-gallon bucket of San Marzano tomatoes. So even though these tomato plants just look awful, I guess where Andy was treating them with that stuff, the pretty green ones that are on the pretty green growth are still putting off tomatoes. Now a lot of these you still see hanging and laying on the ground. We got to pick those up and we'll probably give them to the chickens or the pigs because they're rotten, have bad spots on them, so on and so forth. So I know it looks like a lot, but we'll feed it to something.
We're just going to take these vines. Well, we've been pulling them up, cleaning most of the beans off. Some of them aren't no good, so we're just leaving them on there. But we're throwing them into the cows over there and letting them have some good green snacks here. And while we're at it, we're pulling up every bit of grass or anything that may be in with them too. It's not much really with them, but feeding that to the cows too. And I think we might try to stick in a couple of late tomato plants right here in this area and just see if we can see if we've got time really for them to make. I'm not sure we do, but
Let's see if we can squeeze out a few to enjoy early-ish
right before
fall.
frost.
Yeah.
I'm not really going to be buying any tomato plants anywhere. What I'm doing, and we don't have any started from seed, I'm going to take and root a couple of suckers off of some of these here and just use those. That way they're free.
That's right.
And we're using something we already got.
And it's actually not that hard to start them from suckers.
No, it won't take them but about a week, and they'll have roots on them. Oh boy, these right here's loaded. What do you say? We probably don't need, what, 5 or 6 tomato plants, do we?
No.
If we even need that many.
Yeah, that's plenty.
That's what I'll do. I'll probably root about 10 just in case some of them die. And we'll go from there. You know, we do have those down there in the bottom that are probably going to last plumb up till frost too.
True.
So we ain't got to worry about a whole lot. I just want to see if we've really got time to do it, to be honest. Because it's July. It's almost the end of July.
Yeah, it's right
Golly,
right at the end. We'll have to be starting fall seeds before long.
I know, you do that in August, don't we? Usually
sure,
around the end of
yeah.
August, I think. We ended up with a 5-gallon bucket of them things just off of this patch. That's pretty good, ain't it?
So if we got that much off of this patch, we'll probably get
Almost twice that on the other one.
Yeah, I'd
Because
say
they're full.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give them a quick update on what our plans are up here. I think we're going to leave the green beans in the ground for now because they're still looking pretty good.
And they're still blooming. Look at all these blooms.
Yeah, we've got new growth and blooms all over them. Not like we need the green beans, but we're just leaving them there. I honestly think just so we can show y'all just how these jade beans do once you leave them in the ground. If we can continue to get rain, they'll probably produce pretty good for us.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been giving some away and stuff because, like I said in a previous video, I've canned all really carried a can of the jade beans anyway.
Right.
So
I think we're just going to do our best to keep the weeds out of what's there and let them go. Because I believe there's going to be another good looking picking off of these.
yeah, and the ones out the creek, I don't know about, but
Nah, I don't know. Last time I looked at them, they looked better than they've been looking.
but yeah, they're full of baby beans and 4 times. They've been picked 4 times now.
Our squash is about fizzled out. I've actually got one big, huge one right out there that I'm saving for seed. Our okra, though, is just really kicking off. I mean, it's producing like crazy.
And I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna can some okra today. Can it for frying like Perry Hill showed us how to do.
Good. So on our cucumber trellis here, I think we're gonna do something here that we've never done before. Normally, we would just pull the trellis out with the cucumber vines on it, let them things rot off over the winter and then restart it, in the spring. But I think this time we're going to leave it here and get all this mess cleaned off of it here. And we're going to try to plant us a fall crop of winter peas and see how that goes. And we're just going to plant both runs in winter peas since we found out that, well, we all like them. So we're going to try to see if we can get a late harvest of winter peas or something. I don't know. That's what we're going to try, if we can get this cleaned off really good to do. Then this morning I worked this little part over here. Our 2 rows of honey select corn right there is looking pretty good, and then the rest of this is the sunflowers that's coming in. You can see them out through there. Some of them didn't come up quite that well, but the corn's looking really good. I bet you we can probably leave that okra there plumb up to frost unless we just plumb get tired of it.
I think we've had some in years past. I don't know, a few years ago, remember we did down at the creek, and
it got tall too.
It got so tall I couldn't pick it.
Yep.
And it stayed, I think, till the frost.
It's the best okra we've had in a while. What variety was this? Do you remember?
Clemson Spineless.
Yeah, Clemson Spineless. We had a viewer send us some, you remember what it was called? Star of David okra. But we didn't get a chance to plant it in time. So I think we're going to save that for next year. But it's looking good. And I learned that if I keep these bottom leaves cut off of it, it seems like it's doing even better, and it makes it a whole lot easier for me to pick it.
So now we've come down to pick at the creek garden. We're gonna have a lot.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a lot. But I want to show y'all real quick how much these pumpkins have grown since just the other day when y'all saw them. They're crazy. Me and Andy come down here last night and tried to turn them out of the corn best we could, because they was way on over here.
Not really that we're worried about them growing out in the corn, but they're growing so fast. I'm scared they're going to cover the corn up before the corn gets tall enough to... If
it was bigger, it wouldn't really matter, but it ain't quite big enough for us to let them do that yet. And that is serendipity sweet corn. So we're hoping to have 2 more decent pickings of sweet corn so we can enjoy some more fresh. So let's get these picked.
The pumpkins are going to end up taking over these Dixie Lee peas too. I ain't never seen such. I mean, these things are growing so vigorously. It's crazy.
It really is.
They're already through the Dixie Lees. Right here's one. Look, it's coming out.
No.
Yeah, look. Right here. He's done went through. And right up there where it gets thick, I see another vine that's on the other side.
This has turned into a jungle.
It's going to be a jungle.
Because these Dixie Lees are supposed to be bush beans, and they reaching every which way they can reach.
Look, they're finally putting on a bean. Right there's the first bean I've seen.
Oh, they sure are. Well,
we got a few blooms out through there.
I know what I'll be doing next week.
I don't think them blooms were there last night.
I don't think they were either, because we looked.
I tell you, all these field peas like this, man, when they start doing their thing, it all happens so fast that it's mind-blowing how fast something can grow like that.
Here, baby.
You give one to me, I'll put them in the bucket.
All right, that'll work.
Boy, now these is dirty.
You can stay on that side. Mama's giving them to me, and I put them in the
Well,
bucket.
you help me pick them too, okay?
But you still give them to me, and I'll put them in the bucket.
All right.
Jacob, I say pick anything that's got pink on it.
Yeah, we ain't gonna be too picky this go around, little man. This will probably be the last time we pick them.
Yep, so we want the good ones.
Scoot on down.
Right, Mama?
Yep.
I wish you'd look down through there at the peas. Oh yeah, these are a whole lot easier to pick than these things.
And you don't got to bend over. Yeah, Daddy does. Mama does. But me and you don't.
Maggie,
Pick them right there beside you,
pick
baby.
them beans, Maggie.
How did I not even know they were sitting there? Because he wasn't looking.
Here, Maggie.
I just made an
Is there any pink ones in there? You check that one, because this fell over to your side. You get any pink ones you see in there?
And I don't know where I'm going to put it.
Well, you gonna plant you a bean plant?
Yeah, huh?
Here, you want me to tote that bucket? Let's go on around Daddy. Cause I think they done picked these. So I'm gonna go on up here above Jacob.
Yay, we're almost done.
All right, Jacob, I tell you what. It's gonna be better if you get, yeah, get in front of him.
Look at it, Dougal.
She's having herself a time.
I wish I could get in the water.
Do you? Mama, there's some right there behind you that I can't reach.
Okay.
Ain't nobody gonna give me the moon. Okay.
I'll show you what they look like when I pick them here. See how the shells turn purple? They just snap right off. That one is close enough that I'm gonna pick it too. They ain't quite ready yet, but it won't be but a few days and they'll be ready. Boy, these are so much easier to pick than the October beans though.
Most of them are on the top.
Look.
Yep.
I bet it's that groundhog.
Been in here nibbling.
He's like, oh my goodness, this is like a buffet.
This is a feast.
Eat all you want.
This is a feast.
Yep.
Well, the good thing is groundhogs ain't quite as destructive as deer.
Right. He ain't gonna come in and wipe it out in one night.
It won't make them look like a lawnmower just went through here.
Right.
Or a bush hog.
Me and Daddy's had beans that look like that.
Oh man, especially these peas like this right here. They get all the way to the state to where they've about got peas on them to pick and the deer wipe them out.
And it looks like a bush hog.
It does.
It really does
Looks
look
like somebody
the
come
bush
through there
hog.
with a weed eater.
I mean, they come back out, but boy, it sets them behind. And all it takes is one night. One night.
Usually takes one night for them to find them, and the next night they're done.
I don't know, I'm gonna have to go
I
unload.
think he bit that one, and then said, "Well, I'm gonna go on down."
Must have. All right,
Maybe
I gotta
he
go
had-
dump.
Maybe he's hoping to stick. I need to go down. Why?
Oh, there's some down there.
Maggie, where you going?
Can we do this in the winter?
In the winter? You want to just do this in the winter time? Well, honey, I hate to tell you, but stuff don't grow in the winter time.
The only thing that grows in the winter time is...
Come on.
Maggie said, "Why can't we just do this in the winter?"
Well,
I'm stuck.
Maggie, you find us some peas and some garden that actually grows in the wintertime then.
Look how many green ones are still on there.
I know.
We can sell them like we did tomatoes.
Think so? Come on, darling. What? Are you serious?
There's already eggs in there? I didn't realize frogs laid eggs this time of year.
I know.
Yeah, she'd probably run. I don't know though. She don't like electric fences. Look at that. Well, that's a pile of peas there.
Yep. Whew, that's a day's worth of shelling right there.
Well, between
What we've picked
that
today.
and that is a day's worth of shelling.
That's all right with me though. Hey, a day's worth of hard work makes for many, many convenient meals.
That's exactly.
I'm gonna tell you what, cause a lot of people like to let them dry, these purple hull peas and them October beans, and that's all well and good, save them as dried beans, but they ain't nothing like in the wintertime. You just go, open you a jar, they're already cooked, you season it a little bit, and you got, I mean, literally like a 5-minute meal, and it's perfect. But yeah, and for people that may have missed it on a previous video, now we won't shell these today. We will let them set at least overnight in the house in the air condition. let them shells wilt a little bit, and they're much easier to shell if you do them that way. So we found that out accidentally a few years ago.
Okay, so I'm here at my garden, and as you can see, I got a bean, and it's growing a little bit. And over here is my garden. I'm gonna plant it right here. And I'm gonna see if it comes up. Okay, so I got it watered. I'm gonna see if it comes up.
Well, I got me a pot here, and I'm gonna go out here and look for me a few suckers so I can root me a couple of new tomato plants. I think I'm gonna get some off of Jacob's tomatoes too. Those are better boys. But I also I don't really want them. I want some off of these right here, and I think these are the Mountain Merits. I'm not sure if that's what we plant here or not, but these are really just now starting to do something because they had to blossom in rot so bad. But the new ones are looking pretty good, and they're loaded with them. So I'm gonna take my knife and just cut that out right there. That one will work. We'll turn that one into the tomato plant. If you have any blooms on them, you want to make sure you go ahead and cut that off, because right now that bloom ain't going to do nothing but steal from the energy it's going to take to make roots. All right, there's 3 better boys. I've got 4 of the Mountain Merit suckers. Then I'm gonna go right over here and grab me a few more off of these plants. These plants here, I believe, are either red snappers or halcinators. I'm not sure which one these right here were. So I'm gonna grab me a couple of those. Actually, that one don't look good enough. We're gonna grab a different one. All right. So we got a couple of these. I'm gonna go ahead and take this little one too. So there's my pile of suckers, and I'm gonna go show you what we're gonna do next. So chances are most of y'all realize that you can do this with tomato plants, and it's actually much easier to do when the tomato plants are still young, when you're keeping them suckered out, because you got a lot of tender suckers on them. But always as a last chance effort, at the very end of when everything's starting to wind down, I always take a few and do this right here with them. And it's something fun to do. If you make some, you make some. If you don't, you don't. It's probably just a little bit too late to try to get a tomato before frost, but we're going to try it and see. I think this is about the latest I've ever done any. I got my pot of dirt here. I just dug some out of the raised beds. I want to go ahead, make sure I get any blooms pulled off, and we're just going to simply stick that thing down in the dirt like that. And we're going to root these and make new tomatoes, new tomato plants. Like I said, this is a little bit easier when it's earlier in the year and you've got a lot of tender suckers. These here are quite a bit tougher, so they may actually take just a little bit longer to root, but they'll still root. And they're going to flop, and they're going to look bad for a couple of days, but they will still make it a tomato plant. It's amazing how tough some of these plants like this are. So there we go. We're going to give them a good watering. So there we are. I'm going to set these up here close to the house where I can water them every single day. I'm going to put them where they're going to be kind of halfway in the shade. See right here, they're protected from the steps. You don't want to leave them out in direct sunlight because they will just wilt away and die before they take root. But I'm going to leave them there, and it should be about a week or so, and we'll start to notice these things perking up. And once they start perking up real good, that means you've got roots. Then we'll separate them apart out of that container and go plant them out in the garden.
So me and the kids are getting ready to can tomatoes. It's pretty fun, and I told them they could help me.
And I'm going to put the salt in the tomatoes.
Alright. So I'll get them peeled by blanching them first. Here, I'm going to dump them out for you over here, okay? And this is what I want you to do. You take them. Now watch out, some of them may be a little slippery. You pick you a jar. Look. There goes the skin. They're a little warm. You should just be able to squeeze it a little. If you let them sit there for a little bit, they'll cool off a little more. There you go.
What do I do with this?
Perfect.
Oh, give them to me. Put it in the chicken bucket.
Can you reach that bucket?
Yeah, I
Okay.
got it.
And make sure you get it all off. Them jars are big enough. There you go. Good job. Alright, and I will get me some more cold water here.
I've been doing this for a long time.
Maybe not.
Yeah, but look, I'm
There's a
almost
bunch
done.
of us working together, so.
And I'm almost done.
Teamwork.
So, you put them in a chicken bucket.
Wait.
But I got them in a chicken bucket.
Okay.
You let me know when you're getting full.
You almost gave me whole tomatoes.
Hear me?
What?
Show me when you're getting full, and I'll show you what to do next. All right, now what you do when you start getting to the top, Jacob? Reach down there.
Okay.
See how they make some juice there? You're not mashing them hard, but just hard enough that you can fit you a few more in there.
Oh, back put more salt.
Okay.
Put the salt in.
Set it up here on the towel. Yep, let Maggie put her salt in there.
And there's only gonna be one in here.
Well, I'm bringing you some more. You just hold on.
There you go.
I mix it a little so
I'm
the salt.
fixing to bring you some more, honey.
And Mama,
Okay.
you know what? I mix it a little so the salt goes in.
Okay.
You think we're gonna fill up all these jars?
Yeah.
I hope so. That's my plan. See, if they ever do that to you, you may have to pinch it.
Okay.
The reason that one did, see how it's orange and not red? Sometimes the skin wants to hang on those.
Well, one you have.
Is that one coming out?
Did I get everything? Mama, you didn't get everything on that.
I thought I did.
You left a little bit.
Oh.
You broke your own rule.
I know, it's awful, ain't it?
Yep.
Ew. Now,
Mama, if all the skin don't,
You don't have to.
if all the skin
want
don't
to.
come off in one,
I
in
want
one,
to, Mama. It's so
I'm
fun.
listening to it.
if all the skin don't come off on one squishing, I just hold the tomato and peel all the skin. From the outside, they kind of don't look orange, but when you get to squeezing them, you can
You
tell.
realize, and you're like, man.
Mama, one of them has done build by itself, so I think you're done.
Oh, yes.
Get something?
What?
I think you might have left some water in there.
Oh yeah. But I can't cut it off right now, bitch. I'm helping Mama.
Okay.
We all are. Except for you. One came out.
Hey, you're messing your job.
I can't right now. I'm scooping tomatoes.
Well, just know you're gonna have a big giant handful.
Is that all of them?
Yep.
No, what the?
Look, she was talking to me in the boat. One tomato, one of those fell into the floor.
I get it. Refill.
Golly, I'm not done yet. It's because most of these are orange.
Are they getting harder to peel? And I need to leave them my hair longer.
Well, most of them are orange.
I know I may need to cook them a little bit longer too.
Yeah, like some are like super duper ready, and some they're like they feel like they're orange. So I think next time you gotta cook them a little bit longer. Okay.
So, me and the kids here have just about done a whole canner full of peeled canned tomatoes, whole tomatoes, in less than an hour. Now, ain't that something? Y'all done a fine job. Jacob's my peeler. Maggie gets them out of the pot and puts the salt in them when Jacob gets done. And we're just waiting on Jacob to finish filling the last jar. Now, I love canning whole tomatoes for a few different reasons. They're great in soup. If you run out of a tomato product, like tomato soup or salsa or something like that, you can always use the canned tomatoes, or like spaghetti sauce or anything like that. I don't know. They're just very, very versatile. And so I enjoy canning some. I don't always can them every year, but usually every couple of years. And I had enough today that I thought that I would do at least a canner full of these whole San Marzanos. Now, when I can them, I do them in the pressure canner instead of a water bath. So a pressure can quarts, I believe it's for 40 minutes. Yeah, you pressure can quarts for 40 minutes under 10 pounds of pressure. So that's what I'll do with these instead of a water bath. You can water bath tomatoes, but pressure canner's a little bit faster when it comes to this part. And I don't add any water to them or anything. They're in their own juice. We just kind of mash them down in the jar. They make their own juice. No need to add any water.
I'm not ready to be done. Can we do a whole nother canner full?
You want to do a whole nother canner?
Uh-huh.
I gotta get you a lid, don't I?
Uh-huh.
Well, I sure am glad we got them peas picked when we did. They'd have been soaking wet. While we're waiting on our tomatoes to get done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to can some okra. This is a recipe that Perry Hill Farm shared with me, and it come from the old Alabama gardener, if y'all remember his channel. And so they sent me home with a few jars when we went and visited them here a few months ago. It is absolutely fabulous for frying. It's not an approved recipe, so I will say that. So you do this at your own risk. Megan ain't telling you to do it, just know that. But so I'm gonna get that. I gotta get my okra chopped up and my brine going. Our friend over at Sparks Forge made this chopper here, and I'm gonna tell you what, it really does an excellent job chopping vegetables. He originally made them as like an herb chopper, and they work great for that too. But man, it is so easy to chop these vegetables with this, and it really holds its edge super well. Y'all be sure to go check him out. Check out his Etsy store. Not sure if he has any available right now, but y'all go check it out and see. So y'all, I know the canner is super loud, so I hope you can hear me, but I've got all my okra all cut up, sliced up like I'm gonna fry it. And I'm gonna put in 3.5 cups of water, 3/4 of a tablespoon of salt, and 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Now we're just going to give it a stir. We're going to cut our heat on and let all this start heating up together. And we'll get it in our jars once it gets good and hot. Alright, our okras are boiling. We're ready to get it in our jars here. I'm just trying to make sure that it's all covered here. Okay. So that was the perfect amount for 2 pints in the jelly jar. And if that's all I get, I'm perfectly fine with that. We'll get to enjoy fried okra just a little bit this winter. So the tomatoes are good and cooled off. It is perfectly normal for your tomatoes, especially after pressure canning, for them to be floated to the top like that. They'll settle down in a few days. And you know, I show y'all real life around here, so I had one that the lid popped off, and that happens sometimes. Apparently I didn't put my ring on quite tight enough. It's fine. So what I'll do with those, since the jar didn't bust or anything, I can just reuse those for like some salsa or something. No problem. There we go. And like I said, they'll settle on down to the bottom in a few days. And I've actually still got tomatoes that I canned like this, I don't know, probably 2 years ago. I may have some older than that, and they're still just as bright red and pretty, just like these right here are. Well, y'all, I guess that about does it for today's video. Hope you might have enjoyed it, might have learned a little something. And anyways, guys, till we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.